Hello, gorgeous Sagis. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're doing your reading leading up to this beautiful full moon in Scorpio. I think it's going to be an interesting moon, all right. On the 26th, 27th of April coming up, not too far away. We're doing a Celtic cross, a shortened modified Celtic cross for you today. If you haven't watched these videos before, we pull a few other extra cards at the end. We do clarify also, and it's sort of looking at situation, basis, what's behind you, where you're at, and moving forward. So let's just see. We'll just get one more card. I've got two face down. One more card for lovely Sagittarian, lovely archers. Just, oops, not, well, just, oh, take that one's face down. We'll take that one. Let's have a wee look, Sagis. What's the story today? Let's see. It's getting a bit cooler here. All right, we come out with the great collaborative card. We also crossed by the Hanged Man. So we've got collaboration. We've got a lot of ideas happening. We've got a lot of ideas, and we understand what we want to create. What's that? Just at this time, sorry, there's just something funny on the camera. Just at this time, we, hang on, sorry, Saggy, I'll just leave it. We have the Hanged Man crossing the card of collaboration. So are we at a sort of just a point where we're just kind of, what's the word? We're just sort of sorting all the pieces out, as it were. We're kind of sorting all the little pieces out at the moment. So there's not a lot coming in, not a lot going out. Or maybe there is a level of resistance to this. I do see it as a project. Interesting, lovely Sagis. We've got the Five of Swords coming up here at the basis of this situation. So we see the Five of Swords. There's a level of conflict. I can't not say that. All the fives, there is conflict going on. It can be internal. And more often than not, one would point to that option first in some narrative, with the cards here today. So there is a desire. There's a great understanding of ideas that want to be put into form, into collaborative effort. But there is a pause. There's a pause period, it seems. Let's see what's just passed. Beautiful. There's too many. Let's see what moving as we move around this reading. Let's see what is behind you, Sagittarians. With any pause, I've got a few coming out here. Excuse me, with any pause, of course, we will be pushing play, so it's like pauses are just points in time where things get maybe formulated a little bit more clearly. So we get three cards coming out, and I will read them as they came out. So we get the first card. This is what's behind you. Don't get too hung up on timing here. What's behind you is this Knight of Wands, very impulsive, direct, very ego-driven personality as well. Fiery, no rumination. It's plunging in, boots and all, to get what one wants. I mean, it is a will, it's a very will, obviously it's a wand, very fiery character. Could be someone in your life, could be elements of yourself. Remembering that this is, without getting hung up on timing, this is what is behind you. We have the Eight of Swords, the card of self-limitation. We all know what that means. It's something we do to ourselves. We feel bound, we feel tied, but we're not. It is a mindset, and often it is a habit. Maybe you've been dealing with someone here who that's sort of part of your relationship with them, possibly. I don't know. Self-limitation. Then we have the beautiful, beautiful Eight of Cups. We experience a level of detachment that's incredibly beneficial. It's incredibly healthy. It's a level of emotional detachment. And don't get me wrong, this often, I always believe that allows you to be able to receive more and also give more, a level of emotional detachment. So we're walking away from these Eight Cups. They're sort of dried up, really. The moisture has just evaporated out of them, and we go in search of two. So you could say, I guess, in the background, what's behind you is this, whatever this situation scenario is for you, lovely Sagittarians. Let's see at this current juncture, currently where you're at for lovely Saggies. I'm just getting way too many. Oh no, that's just one. Right. I think this fellow, the Prince of Wands. So we've been dealing with this is you know, probably not as a flame as the Knight of Wands, but we have the Prince of Wands here. And I always say this, but hot and cold. There is some sort of crystallization going on here. It's quite a sexual card, as is the, I guess because of fire, you know, passion, that kind of thing. You never quite know which way the Prince of Wands is going to go. Do you know what I mean? It's either way, or what way, who knows. There's a level of unreliability about it. There's a level of, you know, is it hot or is it cold? Interesting. We'll get some clarification on that. Now, moving forward for beautiful Saggies. Moving forward in this reading, you've got this vision, this idea, a very clear understanding of building something up, a collaborative effort, but building something, definitely. Moving forward here. Wow. And look, moving forward, and speaking of collaborative efforts, like, you're not going to lose here. We get the 10 of discs. Yes, it's about seeing the value around you, recognizing wealth in people and where you're at. I see it as being aware of that at this time, but also being aware that any shifts, changes, whatever, any new projects that you're going to do is going to, if not increase this, but stabilize it. That's the feeling that I get from this for you Sagittarians. Let's just see. Let's go through and clarify now. So, you know, there has been a period, there's been a period where you've quite highly possibly understood the restrictions that you've placed upon yourself is what I get from the Eight of Swords. You know, we've got two, I mean, it's 2 8s here. Cards of the mind. We understand that we can just basically emotionally detach. This gives us clarity as well. If we are dealing with a character, if this is a character in your life, not necessarily aspects of yourself, but a personality, to be able to detach emotionally is the key. What are we interested in here? Look, we'll just look at the basis here. I'm not going back. Let's look at the basis of the where the Hanged Man sits across the 3 of discs. This pause moment, the basis is the 5 of Swords. We want to be transparent. We want to be honest. We want to feel that we're operating with integrity here. Can we clarify the 5 of Swords, please? Wow. And look, we cannot do, what was I going to say? We can't not operate like that, dear Sagis. We get the sun, this beautiful sun. There is nothing about the sun that you could say, you know, the lower polarity side of things. There's nothing that you can say. This is a moment of, as I keep saying, it's a pause moment. The basis is just you going through the way that you want to play this out, is what I'm getting with the 5 of Swords. There's an internal conflict with that. And so pause is a good decision to do at this current time. It can only bring more balance when you eventually formulate your plans. This could be work, it could be anything, it could be, you know, collaborative effort. I do feel there are lots of people involved in this. It will only bring great balance and harmony when you come to push play again. You know, so the sun is just, you know, we're talking solar force, life force, absolute beauty and harmony all the way. Let's just have a wee look at the Prince of Wands, please. The Prince of Wands. What's this prince doing? Which way is he going to go? Is he hot today? Is he cold today? The Prince. All right, so we get the 4 of discs. Look, this is a really strong position and a stable position to be in, but sometimes we need to let go of maybe even one of those discs. In the Thoth deck, it's represented as a really solid structure in an aerial view, and which has a moat around it. Now there's one way in and one way out, so it's really strong and it's really secure, but it doesn't really allow a lot of movement. Collaboration, new projects need movement. Movement is in the pipeline. What I find interesting, and I know this is more of a traditional representation where we're covering, you know, those parts of our body that we need to protect. We need to protect. But we can afford to let go a little bit. In a literal sense, it can be about holding on to resources, coin, money. Maybe sometimes give a little bit of, you know, let something go. We get the free flow movement happening. What I find quite interesting about the Thoth deck card of the 4 of discs. It is called Power because it's a really strong position to be in. As I said, there's only one way in and one way out, and that is in this 3-dimensional world, Malkut. It's not particularly expansive in that sense. Do you know what I mean? So we're sort of maintaining that power. Maybe we need to just let a little bit go. Let's see. Sagis, let's see. I don't know. Let's have a look at the 10 of discs, please, here. Actually, we'll look at the 10 of discs in a moment. Let's just have a wee look at the Hanged Man, who's in pause. Yes, it is like a chrysalid. There's a lot of gooey liquid getting digestated at the moment. Digestated. Oh, look, and it's about... Oh, look, I do feel that. It's about self-love. This is a gift for you. This pause. This is where your power lies, and that you are in control of this entire scenario. I do feel that as soon as this came out, Sagis, you are in control of this. And you're the best person to be in control of it, dear friends. We get the Ace of Cups. We get the ability to not only flood our world with emotional bounty. Firstly, we flood ourselves with this gift. Oh, we flood. I don't know why I get that, but we do that first with ourselves, dear friends. It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. Can we? Did we? We got... Yeah, I just want some about the 10 of discs here at the end, moving forward. This is bounty. I mean, it's wealth. You're surrounded by it. As I said before, it's in Malkut. It's in this 3D physical world for you. Clarification of that. Well, as often the case is, we get again the 10 of discs. With this particular, with the Morgan Greer deck, I often get from this card that there are loyalties involved in the 10 of discs, and I mean by that in terms of family, in terms of community, in terms of the tribe of which you belong to. There are particular loyalties that are very difficult to remove yourself from when there's a point where you decide this is not for me. I get that from the Morgan Greer 10 of discs. But with that, which is amazing, with this, we get, yahoo, yippee, we get the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about new cycles, and I do repeat myself because everything's about new cycles. Endings, new beginnings, endings, rah, 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 isn't it? So we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning again. We speak of movement and letting a little bit of that go, letting a little bit of it loosen up. That's when, you know, you come down from here and press play, and you know that things are going to move pretty smoothly for you because you've had time to compartmentalize many things here. This is what I'm getting from this lovely Sagittarians. So let's see, we'll get a journey map card, we'll get a Brian Frode Pixie and Fairy card. Get a journey map. Yeah, there's a lot of people involved in this. We get the Hive, this just popped out, the Hive collaborator. This is about being a facilitator it's about not only yourself, but it is about other people. Here we see, the beekeeper not only brings people together and in some ways forms a community which is centered around the busy bees working their way, creating this magical elixir, this healing, really, really healing balm, which benefits everyone. I think that's beautiful, especially when we start with a card like that, which is all about collaboration and working with others. So it's very interesting. There are personal things that one deals with. There are more collective things that one deals with. And it looks like you're dealing with all of this all at once, dear Sagittarian. So let's see what Brian Flude's Pixies and Fairies have today. The Fairy Oracle, a really delightful deck. Look, this card just popped out, but I've got to show you this. This card popped out, which is called the Hobjob. Hobjob? It's our internal fear factory, is what it is. It's just our personal internal fear-making factory that exists up here. And often the cogs just go into overdrive, and then we can sort of slowly get them back. Like, just go on, keep under control here. So it's our own internal fear, and I do fears. I do unfounded worry, catastrophic thinking, that kind of thing. I do feel that this full moon in Scorpio encompasses elements of this, in fact, where those vulnerabilities are things that we can turn into a great strength. They can be our strength. On the bottom of the deck, I have to show you, is the fairy that was kissed by the pixies. It's about feeling the full force of life energy, of chi, of this rising, amazing rising, could you say kundalini, this rising energy. You embody it, and everyone around you embodies it. Your environment, everything that is animated by this force. It's all going on, Sagis. So, look, thank you for joining me. I hope you found something in this reading, and have a wonderful week. Take good care. Take really good care, and we'll see you soon. Cheers for that. Chin chin. Bye. Toodaloo.